and welcome back to my channel, and if you are new then a big huge welcome to you. My name is Sez and I'm an autistic and epileptic creator and I upload videos every Wednesday and Friday. Yes! 8th time for this intro. That's the longest time. I had to do a few outtakes to get this right. Oh, Sez, you're such a donut. Yeah, I'm not really thinking straight today, and also I really do apologise if I look very pale. I had to try and take it easy today because yesterday I recently had another seizure, and if you don't know what I'm talking about and if you are new to my channel, then I have epilepsy as well as autism, but my epilepsy seizures don't often happen unless something eventful happens and my body just can't take it. I'm recording this on Saturday the 30th of June, but by the time you'll see this it will be in July, so I may have recovered by then, but I don't know. We'll just see how we go. Today's video, I want to share with you a very big challenge, because this is something that I decided to do all by myself because I want to share a very special organisation who I'm going to be mentioning in today's video, and this very special organisation is called Chewigem. I met up with Chewigem during the autism show in Birmingham, and I said to them that I'm really looking forward to this Chewie, and then later as I was making my way back from Birmingham to London, I thought about doing the challenge and I decided to go for it. And yeah, I think that's all I've got to say on that kind of thing for now, but I'm going to probably show you a couple of clips from how it came to be, but unfortunately this is going to be a very long vlog. I tried to think about separating it into a few different parts, but what's the word to put it? It doesn't really fit if it's separated into separate parts. So I decided to put it into one whole vlog. So you may want to get something to drink and a little snack for this one. So the few clips that I'm going to be showing you are little entries. And through these entries, I use them as part of the challenge. I decided to challenge myself for 1 week to use my Chewigem, not just at home, but in public as well. From shopping centres to work, and going as so far as public transportation, which was one of the main aims that I wanted to use my Chewie for, because I get a little bit anxious and frightened on the bus, even though I have been travelling independently for about 2 months now, and I think I'm still not getting used to in that environment, because buses, I've found recently in the summertime, they tend to be like overcrowded and very noisy, and I'm just becoming very sensitive to that at the moment. So I bought my Chewie just to see if it would make a difference, but some things really changed a lot, but I won't go into full detail because I'm going to be leaving you guys with the clips. So until then, I'll catch you very later, and bring on day one. Hiya. Welcome to day one of the Chewigem challenge, and today, well, today as in the 23rd of June, I just bought my very first Chewigem, and honestly, I'm so happy with him. I'm gonna probably test the Chewigem whilst I'm going on a dog walk today, but I don't know how the walk's going to go down whilst I'm wearing my Chewie, and I'm just a little bit curious and anxious. I don't know really. I'm not going to be vlogging outside because I'm feeling very tired and I'm vlogged out really, to be honest. Just the journey coming back from Birmingham was a little bit tough, and it was a bit of a long journey, but tomorrow I'm going out and about to a historical place, and they've got an event which involves a lot of noise. Personally, I'm used to this kind of noise, but I think what I'm going to probably do is just to see how everything works out, and I'll probably see for myself how much I really needed the Chewie. So yeah, that's all I could probably say at the moment. And if there was any events today, I'll let you know tomorrow. I'm not really making any sense today, but I'm just a bit sleepy. So until then, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Good morning. Today is Sunday the 24th of June, and today, well, it's a very tough challenge today because I'm going to put my Chewigem to the test for the very first time outside the home. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm pretty excited and pretty a bit nervous at the same time. Today, me and a very, very good friend of mine, we are both going to Waddesdon Manor where there is a special event taking place, and the special event focuses on the First World War. The events that I've heard from my friend, I have heard a few things that may frighten me or make me feel nervous, because some of these events may have gunshots and lots and lots of noise. However, normally I'm very used to noise like that, apart from noisy crowds, but I think we're just going to see how we go and just to see what happens next. I don't know what the event name is called, but once I do find out, I'll probably let you know in the next clip. So until then, I'll see you in a moment.
So we went up to the event at Waddesdon, and luckily some events were cancelled that day, and as a result there were no loud noises. And because I was very distracted and very entertained, I just forgot about my Chewie, so I didn't really use it that day. And I was going to record something after that, but somehow I completely forgot, and that was day 2.
Well, we have finally made it to day number 3, and I have the most brilliant news yet. I finally chewed on my Chewie for the very first time. Yes! Now, I'm a little bit addicted to chewing my Chewie. I don't know if it's a different sort of thing. I don't really want to say anything about it before I go too overboard, but I think in a way it's good for me just to get used to it. And I still feel uncomfortable about taking it with me in public, but what I've decided to do, and I don't know if anybody has done this, but what I decided to do, I would practice looking myself in the mirror and just chewing whilst I'm seeing my reflection. And so far, I'm sort of okay with it, but I know I need to practice a little bit more just to help me get used to things and just to calm down. And I think I don't really show it too much because my anxiety gets in the way. I'm working on it. I'm definitely working on it. And having a Chewie just to chew whilst I'm not around my parents or my family or strangers or friends feels kind of relaxing. And this is the case for when I went to sleep last night, because once I got into bed, the first thing I did was to put my Chewie onto my bedside table and placing it on top of a tissue so it wouldn't get any dirt or it would touch the Chewie after I've chewed it, because I don't want the saliva to catch on any dirt and in case I will feel poorly. So it's better to be safe than sorry, really, to be honest. So what I'm going to be showing you just a little bit and explain is how I actually feel and what I've seen during the process. If you can hear some noise in the background, I do apologise. Fred, he's trying to keep cool from the heat at the moment, and he's not very used to the hot weather, and he's lying beside my feet, so that means it may be a little bit impossible just to sit down and back up again. But I will do my best because I want to give you a little bit of a close-up on the Chewie, so we'll just see how we go. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to have a little bit of a chew, and then on a close-up point of view, I will show you what happens next. So I'm going to place the Chewie in my mouth, and then I just chew it very softly because this chew isn't really hard, but this kitty chew is only a beginner's, and since I don't have a hard one, it may be a little bit tricky. So yeah, I'm just chewing a little bit on there, but not too hard, but just like a little pinch. And then what happens, and this is what I want to show you for the close-up, if you don't like saliva then you might want to look away now. So what I've done there is I've done my chewing there, and you can see a little bit of saliva from my mouth, and I don't know if you can actually see it through a close-up. I'll try and put it a little bit closer. What the Chewie does is absorb the saliva, and I think that's one of the reasons why you have to wash it with hot water and soap, as it says at the back of the packet. And I don't know if you need to wash it regularly or maybe just once a week or something, I'm just going to have a little bit of a try again and just see what happens. The saliva normally disappears within a 1 to 2 minute period. So that's my description and what I've shown you what happens to the Chewy. Let's get down to the actual day. This morning I went shopping with my mum and I took my Chewy with me just in case anything would happen. I occasionally go shopping, but I'm not a huge fan because of busy crowds, a lot of noise, and also in some shops I go to, they are so tight and small that I get easily claustrophobic. I didn't chew whilst I was in the shops because I had to help mum with the shopping, and I think it was through that I felt absolutely calm and there was no need for the Chewy. But there was one point where I thought I needed it because there was a baby screaming, but luckily it didn't really last long and I just went on doing a few bits and bobs. And that was in a very tight shop that we live near to. And you can tell it was a bit of a nightmare, but yeah, sometimes the noise actually makes me feel a bit sensitive, and it's always been like that for me ever since I was young. This afternoon I'm just going to relax and have a little bit of a chill before I go off to work this evening. And this is not paid work that I normally do, but it's volunteering, and I'm doing something very special with my work today, but I have to have a few limits, and that involves no jewellery, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to bring this just because there's machinery involved, but I don't know whether I might plan just to hide it or just don't bring it with me. But again, we'll just see how I go. So I'll probably keep you updated a little bit later on.
Well, we are on day 4. I realised I haven't filmed day 3 very much because I was so overtired from yesterday that I decided to fall asleep. Very naughty of me. But I think I must have had a very busy day last night, so that's why I didn't really keep you updated. I went to work, like I said yesterday, and it was really very interesting. My work had to go on a very special trip, and that was to the post office. And in the post office they have big machinery, and they have like different bits and bobs sorting out letters and parcels and all that jazz. It was a really lovely tour, and I really cannot thank the Royal Mail enough for allowing me and my work colleagues and some of the children to come on this magnificent experience. And I know that was a once in a lifetime opportunity, so a big huge thank you to them. During the tour I didn't really wear my Chewy around me, but I had my handbag close to me and I put my Chewy in one of the pockets just in case if I needed it. And there were certain times where I felt that I needed it because all the machines were like making noises all over the place and it never seemed to stop. And I was alright, but within an hour, 45 minutes at the maximum, I started to feel very anxious, and I felt very intense and I could feel my eyes just swelling up with tears, and that's when I thought, right, I needed to calm down. But I almost did that, but luckily the children came up and had a little chat with me and I was alright for about a few minutes or so, and then by the time I came back home I decided just to start chewing on the Chewy. So I was a little close to chewing but not out and about, if you could see behind me. Oh, hello. Today I'm going shopping with Mum again because with the same organisation I work with, we're having a little sleepover, and this is where it gets really challenging because I'm going to be going camping for the very first time, and I've never camped outdoors before, and I have to say I'm pretty nervous and anxious a little bit about that. I don't know if this is going to be the case where I need to have my Chewy or not, but we'll have to see how we go. I have a feeling that I might take it with me
when I'm sleeping during the night, just in case if I'm feeling nervous, but it really depends. So we're just gonna have to really see how we go. I think something has arrived in the post, so I'm gonna probably have a little check out, and then I might see how we go with the shopping. I may try and film some little bits and bobs in the shops, but I cannot guarantee it. But if not, then I'll probably come back home and then just tell you what happens. Well, just came back now from shopping. I won't go into too much detail, but as I was shopping, I was getting a little bit stressed. But normally I don't really get stressed with shopping, but if there is a certain thing that's going on, like a topic or a certain noise, then that's where I tend to get very stressed. And I found that through this shopping experience, I've managed to chew a lot more on my chewy than I normally would. And at one point, biting got really intense that I nearly cried. I could feel my eyes were going, and I think it was because of stress. I don't normally have these kind of things because I don't have meltdowns, but I will feel blue and sad now and again, and I think that's just one of those moments. And luckily I was alright and I didn't cry, and everything just seemed to be alright again. But I'm a little bit more relaxed now afterwards, so that's why I didn't really film in the shops today. Tomorrow is going to be a more bigger challenge, because this is where I'm going to actually put the chewy to the test, because I'm actually going to be filming myself testing the chewy on public transport, which was my main aim in the first place. So I'm going to probably record on my phone to do that tomorrow, but my phone's having a little bit of footage problems at the moment, so I don't know how it's going to go down, but I might back things up and just see how we go from there. But until then, we're just going to have to wait and see how we go. Play it by ear, as I would like to call it. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say really, because I'm just a bit hot and overwhelmed, and I haven't really drunken much anything today, which was another reason why I didn't film, and that was very naughty of me. I will leave you guys to it, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Good morning everybody. Today is day 6, I believe. Yeah, day 6 of the Chewigem challenge. I'm just gonna have to cross here for a little bit, see if it's safe. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I really didn't mean to do that, but better be safe than sorry, so they say. Today is going to be the very biggest day of all, because today I'm going to be using my chewy for the very first time on public transport, and this is something that's, well, it's not something, but it's one of the reasons why I bought the chewy in the first place, just so I can feel comfortable on public transport. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous, I'm a little bit scared, and I don't know how it's gonna go down with the rest of the public. I'm gonna be waiting for a bus to hop onto one of my voluntary works that I do, and then we're just gonna see how we go. I will try and document everything as much as I can, and that includes my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, what can I see, what happens, and all that jazz. So I'm gonna try and keep out for the bus, because I may be a little bit late because I wasn't feeling too good, and I woke up this morning feeling a little bit rough. So yeah, it was probably my own fault really, but hey ho, never mind. Yeah, so that's what happens when it's on Thursday the 28th of June. Just off the bus now, and I'm so relieved to be off. I have to say though, it was a really blooming nightmare, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it ended with positive results for my chewy, which is really impressive. And I know it was a bit noisy on the bus, so if you guys couldn't hear anything, I'll probably give you an insight of to what happened. So basically, I went on a almost full bus, and as I was on there, I tried to remain calm, and I tried to just keep it cool and just focus on some one bits like I usually do when I'm feeling nervous about staying on an overcrowded bus. And it didn't really go down to work. That usually happens from time to time, and I know it's not pleasant, but sometimes in these situations it can't be helped. And on the bus I did manage to use my chewie a few times, but I tried not to bite too hard, because I know that my anxiety levels and my nerves were all over the place, and since I was feeling under the weather the last few days, my anxiety and nerves didn't really help at all, which is really annoying. And I think I'm still not over the nerves and anxiety a little bit, so I think a few times I need to chew my chewie. But I think I mentioned it on the bus that I am sort of starting to get a little bit harder on my chewing. So I don't know if it means that I may have to get a harder chewie, since I now kind of got used to chewing on a chewie, or maybe I might have to slow down on my chewie a bit more. I don't really know, but I'm pleased with what's happened as well. And despite all the wrong bits that have happened, basically, I'm so glad that not everybody on the bus just gave me looks about me when I'm chewing my chewies. I'm actually going to leave the clip right here. I'll probably let you guys know how I'm getting on a little bit later, because I am going to do some voluntary work again, and I don't think I'm not allowed to film in work, so I'm not going to really try and film anything. And also I'm going to be working and preparing for my job interview tomorrow, so either you might see me tomorrow after my interview, or you might see me a little bit later tonight. Hi guys, and welcome to day 7 of the Chewigem challenge. I've got a lot of explaining to do. I'm sorry if my speech is a little bit here and there at the moment. I had an epileptic seizure this morning, and I'm slowly recovering. Luckily it wasn't a bad one, it was just a semi-conscious seizure, but yeah, I recovered from that very quickly, but I'm still just all over the place, so you might have to bear with me, guys. I really do apologise. The reason why I didn't record yesterday was because that I had to get ready for the interview, and as I was getting ready for the interview I noticed that I chewed on my chewie a bit more, because I think I was getting a bit stressed with preparation, and I was just figuring out what I needed to do, what did I had to prepare, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it wasn't really a great result. So I woke up like at the time as usual, but I had to wake up a little bit early, and as I was getting ready for the interview, that's when the seizure happened. But I recovered from that very quickly. The interview didn't really go, and there was a bit of unorganisation, and it wasn't quite what I was expecting, and it didn't say what it said on the website. I was so disappointed in that, and I just thought, I just panicked for nothing. I don't mean it that rudely, but I think I'm just a little bit cross. But luckily I did have my chewie this morning, and I did chew a little bit whilst I was preparing for the interview, but normally I gave it a tiny bit of chew after I had the seizure, just to make sure I'm alright, staying awake. But yeah, I was okay. I lost my balance a little bit, but luckily I was alright. I didn't use my chewie at all during the interview, but it's alright though, because sometimes in these situations it may or may not be needed. So I think today I'm just going to have a little bit of a chill and just see how we go from there. And I think I've mentioned this early in the week, and I know I probably did. I mentioned that I may be going camping, but since the seizure, I don't think that's going to be likely. But again, I'll have a little think, but there's going to be a chance that I may not go just because of health and safety reasons. Because I don't really want to scare my work colleagues, because I haven't really told them I have epilepsy, which is very naughty of me, but I just don't really want to scare scare them, and also I'll be working with children around the weekend, so I probably don't want to scare them either. So I've got to have a really serious think about this. And I may try and do the vlog diary, but I want to take it easy today. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say at the moment, because I think my head and my speech are all over the place. So I'm probably going to leave vlogging a little bit for a couple of hours and then just see how it goes. So I will catch you guys later. And we're back to Saturday the 30th of June. From those clips, I would say that loads of exciting events had happened during the past week. Some good and some bad. And I have to say that throughout the whole things, my Chewie has been a massive lifesaver. In conclusion, I found that having a Chewie can be very, very useful. And I know that some people can actually feel frightened using a Chewie in public, because I'm not too sure if I've seen people actually using Chewies outside their own homes, but I thought I would brave it and just see what happens. And throughout the whole entire week, no one ever seemed to notice I was having a Chewie, and it made me feel very better about myself for that. But at home, it was very, very different. I don't know if most of my family members have actually seen me having a Chewie, but to be fair though, only 3 members of my family did, and one family member was absolutely fine with that, and I talked to her about what it's used for, how I used it and how it works, and she was very, very interested, which is a very positive response. Aside from the people, I felt very comfortable with having the Chewie around me, and I also found that it was very beneficial to tell me when I was going to have a seizure, because the day before I had the seizure, I realised I was chewing very hardly on my Chewie and just biting it constantly, and I really didn't understand why. But it wasn't until after the seizure that I started to chew a little bit more lightly, yesterday and today, so I'm really, really pleased about that. And I think I'm gonna try probably keep an eye on that a little bit more, because if I am going to probably be close to having a seizure, I'll probably take some measures like go to bed early, or maybe just have a little bit of a rest, or maybe just watch myself and see how I go. As a beginner chewer, I found that chewing, it's kind of like taking things a little bit slowly. And since I haven't really chewed on anything for a very long time, well, apart from my fingernails, I was really nervous and I didn't really know how to properly chew. But since I brought my Chewie, I really got back into the feel of chewing, and it made me feel more comfortable and more secure. And if you are thinking of getting a Chewie, I would highly recommend getting one. And this Chewie that I'm wearing, this is only for people who have never chewed before, or who are slowly getting back into chewing after a long brief period. And there are some hard Chewies as well, but you cannot just find them in necklaces. They're bracelets, they're little squishies. Basically Chewigem do everything, and it doesn't have to be jewelry, but it's other products as well. And like I said before at the very beginning of the video, I'll leave a link in the description box below, and please go and check them out. They do really, really incredible stuff. And that's all I've got left to say, because I know I've been muttering and gesturing too lot, because I still haven't got out of the recoveringness of the seizure. Oh, and in case you're wondering what happened during the last clip, I decided not to go camping in the end, because I felt that if I had another seizure again, then it wouldn't be fair to my colleagues and to the children, because I was supposed to be working with children, with my work colleagues. I don't think they've never seen a seizure before, especially if an adult didn't have a seizure, and I don't really want to frighten them too much, so that's why I didn't really go. Yeah, I need to tell them that I have epilepsy, so I'm gonna have to explain to them within the next week. Well, hopefully before the summer holidays, because they are coming up in the UK very, very soon. So I'm going to be leaving this video right here, and like I said before, I'm going to be drawing this video to a close. I really, really hoped you enjoyed watching this little challenge slash review. I had so much fun filming this, and even though I had a very stressful week which led me to end up having an epileptic seizure, that didn't really stop me putting my myself in the moment. So until then guys, I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and as always, keep on dreaming and never stop believing. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye!